Okay, so I'm in between projects here, which means I've got some space in the garage. I've got a couple of days, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this sandblaster hooked up. It's got no air going to it at this point. It's on the other side of the garage from the air. So I'm going to plumb a pipe over to it. And I picked up this Rapid Air Home Garage kit. Comes with a bunch of tubing. 1/2 inch outside, 3/8 inch inside diameter, a bunch of blocks and fittings, everything I should need to get air from here over to my sandblaster. So that's what I'm doing. Let's get started. Okay, this is what the system's going to look like. Just trying to figure it all out to make sure I got everything I need before I get started. We've got this block here, which is going to be by the compressor, which I'm going to plug into the air supply with a coupler. So we got air coming in, a drain valve going nowhere, it's facing down, pipe coming up along the beam, and 3/4 of the way down the beam I'm going to have this block. There'll be a drop here for a hose reel, and then it will continue on down to the wall by the sandblaster, and it will terminate with this block, and from here I will have another air hose going from here to the sandblaster. So that's what it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to start down on this end at the blast cabinet, and I'm going to use one of my 3 blocks. I'm going to use this block just kind of as a termination point from the hard line into the rubber soft line. So this block has 4 ports in it. It's got a port on each end. I'm going to have the hard line coming in here. Another port on the other end, which is where I'm having the rubber hose that's going into the blast cabinet. And there's these 2 other ports that I don't need, so I just plugged them up. And so now I'm going to secure this to the wall. Put some Teflon tape on here. I'm going to secure this to the wall by the blast cabinet, and this is where the hard line is going to end. Shut off valve to the sandblaster. This is to the hose reel. We'll always get air. Straps keep the hose in place. And the block closest to the compressor. Okay, so here's where I'm at this point. I've got this block here secured to the wall. I've got the black hose going to the blast cabinet. I've got the blue Rapid Air pipe up the wall to the top here, along the beam, over to this center block, which is a pass straight through with a black hose drop going to my hose reel. And so this hose reel, I've lagged up a 2x6 up across 3 floor joists. So the board is up there, and then I through bolted it to this hose reel. This hose reel is heavy. We'll be pulling down on it to get the hose out. I didn't want to just lag it through there and risk it falling down on someone and killing somebody. So I through bolted it. That should be up there, no problems there. I don't foresee. The Rapid Air line comes all the way to the other side of the garage, past the bonefish, under the beam, across the top, up, out of the way, and then down here by the compressor where it's terminated, and this black hose is coming into it, feeding it from this triple coupler, which is hooked up to the compressor. And that's probably not going to win any design awards, but it's a garage. I don't know that I ever have two hoses going at the same time, so that's fine with me. So now I've got our air hose reel here next to the compressor. Got another one in the middle of the garage, and air going all the way to the other end on my blast cabinet. Okay, it's time to put some air in this thing and see if it works. You know, I'm low on pressure here because I've had the compressor off, so I've only got about 60 pounds of pressure in it. But let's see if it holds. Listening for any leaks. Can't hear anything obvious at this point. So now this is all pressurized. And let's come over to the hose reel. So here we are. Alright, we got air here. I've also got this valve here that I will shut off when I'm not using my blast cabinet, which is 95 to 98% of the time, but I can just bypass this whole area so there's no potential leaks, or you know, if anything happens to this pipe down this end, it'll be unpressurized. But I've just opened that valve now, and I should have pressure in here, which I do. Okay, so we've got air pressure in here. All my joints have been with Teflon tape, so I'm pretty sure, and I try to use as few connections as I could. Basically that one block, well, you've seen it, 2 blocks and 3 blocks are my only connectors. The screwed in connectors have all been Teflon taped, and the push in pipe connectors are self-sealing. Let me show you how those hose connectors, this rapid air joints connect. It's pretty cool. Okay, so here's an elbow that I didn't use, but I can use this to show you how this thing works. If you can look down in here, we have a set of teeth that kind of disappear when you push this collar in. Those are the teeth there that bite on the hose. So you just push it in. Done. That's airtight. And then to remove it now, you just pull back on this collar and the hose comes out. So, I mean, this stuff is super easy to work with. It's very flexible. Goes around all your turns. Make an easy connection. There's one. Boom, there's a 90 degree. No leaks. And if you make a mistake, it comes apart. I mean, I highly recommend this stuff. It was very easy to work with. Did this whole job in, in an afternoon. So that's how those work. Okay, here comes the big test. Now we're going to put some actual air pressure in this whole pipe system. So I've got this regulator here, which regulates the pressure inside all the hoses in the shop. Got that set to about 100. So let's pressurize this system and see if it leaks anywhere. Okay, now we've got the system pressurized with 100 psi coming out of the compressor into the triple coupler. One of these black hoses goes to this hose reel, and the other black hose goes up to this block, which feeds the piping system that I just installed. which, as you now know, comes over here along the post to this through block with a drop. That black hose goes to this new hose reel. I've got it mounted up on the ceiling with a 2x6 through bolted so it won't fall down and kill anybody. I've also got that valve right there where it's on right now, but I can also actually shut off this section of the pipe, which goes over to the blast cabinet, which, you know, is not used 99% of the time, but if you've got something you want to paint that fits in there and you can blast it, it's awesome. But most of the time it's sitting here unused, so I can unpressurize this section. But here's the final block. Just goes through with a couple of plugs, all Teflon taped. And the hose goes into the blasting gun. And so this is good for me. I'm happy with this. It's got air now going all the way over to the other end of the shop. I don't have to drag hoses all over the place. And it's just nice. So I'm going to call this project done. If I've got any questions or if anything happens bad on this system, I'll certainly report back, but I don't think anything's going to go wrong with this. It looks great. So the rapid air system, I recommend it. It is very easy to work with, and yeah, I did this in one afternoon. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you like, and until next time, thanks for watching.